Hello and welcome to Not Without My Sister. Today I unfortunately am not without my sister. I'm Beatrice McCabe.
I'm Rosemary McCabe.
And we're delighted to be here together.
Oh my God, imagine how nice it'd be to just do one episode on our own.
What do you mean? Imagine how nice it would be if I genuinely felt that positive every time I spoke.
Oh, I think it'd be a bit annoying.
Oh my God, I would love it.
You'd be like that girl I love in Starbucks.
Oh, you love her.
I love her. She's really nice, but
I know, she's so on
peppy
all the time.
She's so on. Must be so exhausting. Today, Beatrice, we're going to talk about romantic gestures.
Of which I have gestured many. Is that even a word? Is that even a way of speaking?
I mean, I'm not even sure what you were trying to say.
Many of which I have experienced in my life.
I have done unto others and had done unto me.
Excellent.
That sounds a bit pervy. I thought I would start with some genuine research.
Rosemary, is there an actual note here? Have you got notes here? Rosemary is now holding her phone up in the air, and usually I have notes, and today I have no notes. I said, is it fine that I have no notes? Yes, it's fine. And now she's whipping out a ton of notes
today.
Oh, for God's sake.
So, I thought I would do a little bit of research and look up what the internet had to say about romantic gestures.
Okay, well, I mean,
okay.
Like,
and
facts central. Go.
Yes, fake news. So, 7 romantic gestures every woman wants her partner to perform. Number 1.
I hate the word perform. Her partner to perform.
Oh, yeah. Perform a romantic gesture.
Wants her partner to exhibit.
Do you
ever read that book?
You make a gesture, don't you?
What's that thing like? Your love language. You ever read that book?
No, but I have read about love language, and I do love to bring it up. Anyway.
Okay, sorry.
Back to the point. We can do a whole episode of love languages.
Oh, good idea.
Number 1, compliment her. Number 2.
No, wait, hold on. Are we going to talk about these?
I'm going to read them out.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, cherish her.
Ugh, what does that mean?
Cherish the I've always given me here by your side. 3, offer support.
Does that
internet's confused.
Does that mean that physically or does that mean emotionally?
Just that always be supportive no matter what. I think they mean emotionally.
Always be supportive no matter.
Number 4, show affection.
That seems kind of obvious, right?
Number 5, look at her.
Is that a joke?
No.
Does that mean because everybody's on their phone nowadays?
I don't know what it means. Number 6, surprise her.
By looking at her?
By looking away. Number 7, spend time with her family.
What?
The internet is very confused as to what romantic gestures are.
Oh my God, Rosemary, I'd like to point out before you go on to whatever. Oh, that was number 7. Apparently the other day, yourself and Dawn, when I was not
Why
here.
are your nostrils flaring?
Oh, because this is a good one.
Oh no.
Apparently the other day when I left to go to work.
When I bid Dawn a romantic farewell.
Oh yes, you were here by yourself, left to your own devices. My children, the suitably honest spies, horrified when I got home, said, Mom, Nash, like age 9, horrified. Mom, like it's probably nothing, but like just so you know, Rosemary and Dad were kissing each other when you left. Rosemary, explain.
So what happened was...
Explain.
I was at the door and I went, I was at the door leaving. I was waving goodbye to the baby and the baby waved at me and then he went, like for a big kiss. So I went, big kiss. And then I gave Daisy, I went, big kiss to Daisy. And then I went, big kiss to Nash. Nash ran away. And then Dawn was standing there and I went, and Dawn and I squashed our cheeks together and went, as if we were kissing.
Oh, is that supposed to be reassuring?
My tongue only went into his mouth for 5 seconds.
I'm trying to know who feels more unwell right now, you or me. Well, anyway, my children have been well reared, it would seem, because you're not going to get away with this, you harlot.
Oh my God, I'm thinking about like when you read about these things where you're like, oh my God, like, you know, I saw my dad having an affair when I was 8 and I was racked with guilt. Like didn't Nash, not a rack. He's like, Mom, guess what, Mom?
Exactly. I mean, why? I mean, who are these extremely well-behaved children who keep these secrets?
Can you also imagine if Don and I were having an affair, like when you left the house?
Honest to
the
God.
least romantic setting. Kids screaming.
No. It's not about romance. It's about the excitement, the frisson. Now listen, not that I would know, but all I want to say to you is like, if you are, go for it, right? Go for it. If you could just like, I'm exhausted. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. That's fine. Genuinely, I'm really tired. You guys enjoy yourselves. Just don't get too emotionally involved, right?
You're so weird.
We'll go back through them. So number 1 was what?
Well, hang on.
No, because we'll go through these now. We'll see if we've ever done them or not.
Well, no, because I wanted to move on to the romantic gestures that men find romantic.
Okay.
A different article from
Okay.
medium.com,
Let me
right?
guess. Let me guess if any of these are. Let me guess, and you confirm if any of them are on the list. Okay. Show interest in whatever he is interested in. Is that a romantic gesture for men?
No. Oh my God, loads of them.
Compliment his cooking.
Compliments are in there, yeah. If you think about it, men don't receive compliments often.
Having a laugh. It's non-stop.
They compliment themselves non-stop.
Non-stop. Okay, compliment. Okay, got that one. Okay,
Okay,
hold
go on.
Is tell him he's brilliant also a compliment?
Saying you understand him
Oh, God.
is one of them. All people want to feel understood, it
For God's
says.
sake. Why are men different to women? Why is that not in the article for women? Understand women.
Well, like, these are written by different people, to be
It's
fair.
probably
This isn't
hard,
exactly
like, in fairness.
scientific.
Understand women. Understand what it feels like to be marginalised and offered less than the opposite sex. I can't understand men. Understand men. Oh, go in for a job and be offered 110% of the pay that you would normally be offered for doing the exact same job. Great. Have confidence that you are always correct. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to what else? What else do men need to hear? Hold on.
No, not
show-
need to hear. This is
sorry.
the romantic gestures that
romantic gesture.
men find romantic.
Okay. Laugh at their jokes.
I think that's probably saying you understand.
Show physical affection.
Yes.
Nuzzle their necks.
Public affection.
Oh. Don just said today he hated that.
But it also says PDA does not mean making out up against a wall.
Oh.
It's also holding your partner's hand or arm when you're out in public.
Oh my God. Only today Don was saying in relation to the comment that you made in the last episode, whatever episode that was about, what was it even
The Dutch
about?
guy trying to snog me in the middle of the road.
And Don just apropos of nothing today goes, God, remember how you always wanted to like snog on corners? And I was like, sounds vaguely familiar.
Did Don really use the word snog?
No.
Oh.
Make out.
Make out.
Make out on corners. And I was like, oh, does sound vaguely familiar. I do remember I used to like grab his arm, grab the top of his arm just so because he would always want to like, I don't know, go home and kiss in private. And I'm like, why would we do that when we could kiss on this street corner?
Why would we do that when we could recreate some of my favourite movie scenes on the corner of the street in New York?
Exactly. And then he's like, so practical. The people would be walking by, people would be bumping into us. And I'm like, how would we even know?
He's
we
right.
Would be
People would
so
see
wrapped
Beatrice.
up in the love.
This example says, here's a quote from a guy on Reddit, so you know it's bona fide. If I'm walking with a girl and she does the wrap her arm around my arm walk thing, it makes me feel so strong and amazing.
Oh, okay. Make him feel powerful. Okay. Be weaker than him. Is that something?
Be weaker than him. Well, tell him he's your favourite. That's one of them.
Why are these all so ingratiatingly stupid? Like there wasn't a single one of these on the women's list.
Baked goods.
Baked goods?
Sorry, women didn't get anything. They literally just got like the very basic, lowest possible expectation.
Everybody's going to be shocked to hear that I have no
to.
recollection of what the women's words were like 2 seconds ago.
The women's ones were,
we should have written these down.
Look at her, show affection, offer support,
Look
charity.
at her.
Literally,
That's literally like exist beside her.
The bar for men is on the ground. The bar for women, let me just get back to this.
No, sorry. Literally the women's one should probably have breathe in the same room.
No, the women's one also has baked goods. Men get to look at you while you're fucking baking. He's looking at you while you're slaving over a hot oven. The men's
and then
one,
I guarantee you, he's going to go, you'll provide him with the most delicious shortbread, and he will go, bit salty. Whereas when a guy gives you a cookie, you'll go, or a biscuit, you'll go, delicious, even though it's burnt.
Compliment him.
And oh yeah, you're right.
You know, I dated a guy once who, like, after about probably 3 or 4 weeks of dating, I cooked him dinner one day and he went, so how come you never learned to cook?
What?
Yeah.
But you don't think that's like a bit of a common thread though? Like I do think that no matter how many times I've cooked for men and for my now husband, as he likes to call himself, ex-boyfriend, you'll go, oh, do you like it? What do you think? They'll say nothing, right? What do you think? Oh yeah, I mean it's nice. A bit more pepper, maybe. A bit more salty. Whereas when a woman, when you sit down at the dinner that they've cooked, and you don't say anything for like, maybe you literally have barely like grazed your lip with the fork, and they're like, do you like it? Is it great? Is it phenomenal? Now they all have
And you're
American
complimenting
accents.
him because you've read
Is it
this thing about
beautiful?
romantic
But
gestures.
like it's also like, no, maybe it's not great, and then you're the worst in the world.
But also, like women are conditioned, whether it's to men or not, to be much more like to be grateful all the time. You know what I mean? To be like, to not make a fuss, to be nice,
To be nice,
to be
but
polite.
like, I mean,
to be
God
nice and polite.
forbid everybody should be conditioned to be nice. Like, it would actually be grand.
Sorry.
I actually have no problem with you complimenting me. Maybe everybody should be conditioned to be nice.
I mean, they should. After the baked goods, we have head scratches.
What?
Is it a man? Is it a dog? Don't know.
What?
If baked goods don't work, head scratches are your foolproof plan B, except she's actually written foolproof, F-U-L-L.
What?
Human heads have many nerve endings in our heads.
I don't know what foolproof is though. Like honestly, like it's therefore I will not be full. That should be part of baked goods, surely.
It's too
The
complicated.
baked goods will be so gross that I will be foolproof.
When your skin is scratched, your body releases serotonin. That's why head scratches feel beyond amazing.
So why could this person not actually check her spelling when she was busy doing medical research?
She's too busy doing the medical research. And then finally, a butt grab.
What?
A butt grab is the best gesture of them all. It says, I want you while being playful.
Wait, playful?
Shh.
When was this written? Was this written before Me Too? Because this is ridiculous.
Plus, it's pretty fun for you too. So go ahead and give his butt a little squeeze. Chances are he'll love it.
Is this a joke? There wasn't even like a shoulder rub or anything. It just goes straight from a head. Excuse me. Give him some cookies. Okay, so here's the night out, right? Hey, you look amazing. Oh, sorry, I don't need an American accent. Hey, you look amazing. Do we have to compliment him? Your clothes are actually just read them off one by one.
Okay,
We'll
hang
go in order.
Little love notes. I didn't tell you about
Little love
that one.
notes.
Little love notes.
Okay, so before we've even gone on a date, he rocks into work and there are some little crumpled up pieces of paper that say, wow, you look fab today. So now he's not thinking I'm a weirdo or anything. He's just like getting ready for our night out together. It's cool. You look amazing. Okay, it's fine. What's the next one?
Imagine like you had a one night stand with a guy and then he leaves and he finds all these crumpled up notes in his pocket saying like, that was great.
Okay.
Can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you look
Okay,
great.
telling him he's your favourite.
Okay.
You can put that in the note.
Okay. Oh. No, now we're at a bar. Okay, we're about to go into the bar. You're my favorite. I love this bar. Nice job. So he's not thinking like you're a simpleton. He's just like, oh, I'm her favorite. Okay, cool. And we know that guys do not like people who play hard to get. They just like full on like obsession. Single white female or single female.
Listen,
I should
you can
say.
be obsessed with
single
somebody without
any
being
color,
single.
Single any color female.
Sorry.
Obsession.
What I
okay?
meant to say was you can be obsessed with somebody without single white femaling them. There's a fine line.
No, but I'm saying if you were saying to somebody expressing before you've even gone on the date, you're my favourite, there's not much room in there for navigation. Okay, go on.
Saying you understand him.
Okay, so you want a beer? Oh, totally get that. Next.
Giving space for him to open up.
Why don't we talk about you? Well, like, what would you like to talk about while you have that amazing beer? You're amazing. You're my favourite.
Another romantic gesture that men love when women plan a date. Because the responsibility of date planning usually falls on the guy's shoulders.
This is out of order.
Planned every date in my
Having a
entire
laugh.
life.
What guy has ever planned a date? Let me think about that. What guy has ever planned a date? No guy. Okay, for me. Go on.
Pay attention to the little things.
Oh, no, sorry, hold on. Sorry, let's reverse 1 second. Let's just rewind 1 second. This is a really cool bar that I picked, and I'm glad that you like the beer that I just got up and ordered for you. But next time, I'd really like to plan this date so that like I could make you feel more special because you're my favourite. Next.
Pay attention to the little things. His favourite candy bar, what movies he loves. Oh my God. She goes, oh my God, that's amazing. My boyfriend is a very simple man. He doesn't like flashy things or grand gestures. When we first started dating, I racked my brain thinking of things I could do for him. So whenever he'd mention something small, I'd make a note of it in my phone.
What?
Then I'd surprise him when he least expected it.
That's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to take, every time I mention something I like, I'm going to take a note of it in my phone.
You actually should because you won't remember 2
No,
minutes
and then
later.
I'm going to share it with Dawn before Christmas. I'm going to be like, here are all the things I mentioned in your presence that I like. Please purchase all of them for me or pay attention to me in the future.
No, you should actually take a note, and then after Christmas you can go, here are all the things I mentioned and you got me this.
And then I'm going to say, P.S. You haven't looked at me. Sorry, it's not funny. Go on. What was it? So take a note of what he's saying.
Pay
Is that not
attention
a
to
bit
little
rude?
things.
Is that a bit rude if I have my phone out the whole time taking notes?
Sorry, it's also really weird.
Am I supposed to have a notebook? Am I interviewing
No,
this
it's in your
guy?
phone. It's in your notes app, Granny. Imagine if your boyfriend then saw your phone and was like, why does she have a note of like all the things? You know what I mean? Like
He's my favourite. Why wouldn't I?
compliments,
I've already told him he's my favourite. Is that not enough?
public
is this
displays
my
of
problem?
affection.
Is this my problem? Oh,
What problem?
Is this
You have a husband, you have 4 kids, you have no problems. When it comes to romance,
Is this-
your turkey is cooked.
I'm. God, that's attractive. I meant like, was this my problem? Was this my problem all through my 20s? I wasn't giving enough compliments. I was like, he's had a compliment, he's grand. Was it like, oh my God, you look so attractive? Oh,
no,
hold on.
you weren't baking for
Did
them.
you just
and
get
giving
to-
them head scratches.
Sorry, just get to physical attraction, physical something. You are so, wow, your shoulders look really, really, really strong. Let me feel that.
public displays of affection.
Oh yeah, your shoulders look really strong. You're so strong. I'm not feeling your shoulders. It's public display.
Baked goods.
I don't know how we get to my kitchen from this pub.
Well, because he's fucked off home.
I have them in my bag. Oh, earlier on.
Oh,
I
here's some
baked these
cookies I baked.
for you. They're in the. What's his name?
Cian.
Cian. I have 4 cookies. Each one is in a letter for your name. You're my favourite.
Head scratches.
Oh no, they should just be fave. Fave.
Head scratches.
I am head scratching. Why am I such a moron?
and a butt grab.
I can't go there.
You can fucking snog the head off someone on the corner of like a public street, but you won't grab his butt.
Someone, my future husband, I'll have
You
you
didn't
know.
know he was your future husband at that point.
And he was the only person I ever snogged on the corner of a street, just so you know.
Not for want of trying, I'd say.
No, it's not true. Now listen, have you ever butt grabbed,
I'm sure I have.
Rosemary?
Probably not seriously. Like
What does that mean?
probably not an actual romantic way, but like
You think butt grabs are romantic in any way?
probably not in a way where I'm actually trying to be like seductive or cute, but where I'm actually going, ooh, sexy shorts, like when he's not wearing sexy shorts. You know what I mean?
Has anybody ever? I'm more. I think it's not so much that I'm judging you, although I am slightly, but I'm more like stymied by the idea that.
I thought it was stymied.
I knew you were going to say that. I literally knew
Is
you were going to say
it
that.
stymied?
Maybe it's stymied. I am nonetheless stymied or stymied by the fact that in any way you are justifying butt grab as an action that is okay. Like, have you ever been butt grabbed?
Oh, only by strangers.
Oh.
Like in a pub or a club, and then I've been really angry.
Were you, or were you like secretly flattered?
No, I was
No,
angry.
it wasn't a joke. It was a real question.
You know, actually, I remember where I lived in Dublin, I used to have to walk past this restaurant. There would always be men standing outside. And they used to always say like, oh, you know, hey, you're looking good, or like your jacket or whatever. And I used to love it. I'd be like, I'm going to like walk past these guys for a bit of an ego boost. And then I remember one night I walked past them and they like said something to me and I was like, my hair's looking great or whatever it was. And then this girl was walking behind me and they shouted something to her. And I remember looking back and she looked so uncomfortable. She was probably about 14. And I suddenly was like, this is wrong.
But you know what? That reminds me, all jokes aside, because even today I was thinking, because this whole topic came up, right? Because I was like, oh, let's do this topic because I have all these great stories that now I can remember none of.
Out of your brain, yeah.
Exactly.
This is why you need your notes.
Well, exactly. But you've just reminded me of the Starbucks. No, was it Starbucks? It was Dunkin' Donuts here.
It's a very romantic
Was
story.
it Starbucks? No. Hold on, where was it? Was it here? Yeah, it was here. In Fort Wayne. So like, I don't want to be mean, but like, you know, a medium bar, right? Like, it's not like you're in New York where there are supermodels on every corner, right? It's like,
Okay, I get you.
It's a pretty medium bar, right? It's a normal person town, right?
Right.
And I drove through the drive-through of, I think it was
Like, does it really matter whether it was Dunkin'
No,
or
it
Starbucks?
does. It does.
Okay.
It does. Because like, it also does. It was Starbucks anyway. Because in one, they have a tiny camera in the thing where they actually
Oh,
can
you
like
make your
take your
order.
order, right? And I was in the car.
Oh my God, I'm always doing my chin hairs.
Well,
Do they really have a camera?
Yes, they have a camera. And I was in the car and I was waiting for my spot. And I had the window open because it was the summertime and it was really hot. And the car in front of me, and I couldn't see who was in the car, but she was talking. She was like, I'll have, you know, a coffee and a this and that. And he's like, you are looking beautiful today. And I was like, unbelievable. What a creep. And she's like, oh, thanks. Well, I have, you know, whatever. And he goes, has anybody ever told you your eyes are stunning? And she's like, thanks. Can I have whatever? And then he goes like, oh, your hair is phenomenal. And I was like, this guy's a massive creep, like massive creep. So anyway, she drives off, she gets her order. I drive up. I'm like raging. I'm like, I'm going to give this guy what for if he even like attempts. And he goes, morning, what can I get you? I was like, a coffee and this. He goes, great, thanks. What? I was so raging. I was so offended.
Could you see the woman in front?
No, I never saw her.
I hope it was like Jessica Alba.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I guarantee it was like random normal person number one. I was raging. Anyway. So what's the most romantic thing that you have ever done, Rosemary? Or what's the most romantic thing, Rosemary, that a boyfriend / boy / unknown person has ever done for you? What has made you swoon down to your boots?
We honestly need a jingle for eye roll. We need like a little tinkling bell whenever I roll my eyes.
Nobody would ever be here
know.
able to hear anything.
Liam used to commission a lot of things for me.
He did?
Yeah, he did. So like
Very
when I was
thoughtful.
working as a fashion journalist, he commissioned an illustration where it was Bill Cunningham taking a photo of me on the street with quill on, and Anna Wintour was in the background looking pissed off.
Oh,
which
he
is
was
kind of
very
funny.
thoughtful.
Yeah, he was very thoughtful. Brandon, for last Christmas, got me a signed copy of a Jonathan Franzen book because I'd mentioned in passing that I really liked Jonathan Franzen, which was really nice. So he like tracked it down on eBay or something. He was obviously taking notes, things that I liked.
Oh, yeah,
in
he
his phone.
was. Yeah. Well, this year he's obviously not because he just texted me today and said, what can I get, Rosemary? I wasn't.
Because I told him to text you.
Oh. Well, what about then? What have you done for somebody that was extremely romantic? What have you ever like? What was the thing that you were like? I was not expecting that. I'm knocked. Like or that
Oh my God.
he was not expecting.
Well, that I was not expecting. When I worked in Zara, I remember one day I was going to work and I'd got the bus into town and my then boyfriend had come with me. I think it was a Sunday because it was really, really quiet in town. We were walking along and he, oh my God, it was awful. And he was messing, right? And he pretended to trip me up. But me being like really clumsy actually fell over, right? So he basically had his arm around my shoulder and he had grabbed onto my two arms and pretended to trip me and I had fallen, and because he was holding my two arms I'd landed flat on my chest and completely winded myself.
Oh, sounds familiar.
Right?
Sounds familiar.
So what?
Sounds like the
oh
time
yeah,
you...
like I did that to you in the kitchen.
Yes.
But that wasn't flat on your chest. Anyway, let's not dwell.
Okay.
So I fell like straight forward, flat on my chest, was winded, burst out crying, right?
Oh.
He was like mortified. I was going, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I couldn't speak because I basically couldn't breathe. And then,
Sorry.
and then this guard who was across the road on a motorbike thought he was mugging me and came over and was going like... Oh my God, it was awful. Yes. And so he comes over and he starts going, are you okay? Step away from her, please. To Dave. And I was like,
God.
basically still couldn't talk, was crying my head off and was trying to go, no, it's fine. Like he's my boyfriend, but also was like bawling, crying. So the guard was probably like, he's attacked her. Like what the hell's going on? It was awful. So anyway, then I had to go into work. And you know, when you're crying first thing, right? So I'd been bawling. Like, yeah, like ruins your whole day. So then I had to go into work. So I'm working as a cashier in Zara and I've been in work about an hour when I suddenly noticed this figure standing at the cash desk with the biggest bunch of flowers I had at that point in my life ever seen. Obviously since then I've got much bigger bunches of flowers from PR people. Yes.
Oh.
So,
So mean.
so I look over and Dave is standing there with the biggest bunch of flowers, like looking very sheepish, obviously trying to make up for me that he like the fact that he assaulted me earlier that day.
He didn't assault
Of course he didn't. Anyway, I was so mortified. I remember it went all red and completely ignored him because I was somehow going like, if I just don't look at him, don't respond to him, he'll eventually just leave. Oh. And then I remember one of the other girls was like, is that for you? And I was like, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I do remember like though that feeling of getting flowers, so embarrassing.
Oh my God,
but like,
so embarrassing.
But now, I mean, now that I've been in offices where people get flowers
all
the time, I'm like, okay with it. But I mean, up until about 5 years ago, I was absolutely mortified by this.
Same.
Like mortified. Like I can't go and pick this up. I can't bring it back to my desk. Even when I was married, I'd be like,
oh my God, same.
But I'd be like, I can't. It's like, oh, you have a bouquet at the reception. And I'm like, well, I obviously can't pick them up because I can't tell anybody that I got a bunch of flowers from my husband. So ridiculous.
I remember at one stage, the receptionist calling me to go, there's a bunch of flowers here for you. And I'm like, me literally being like, I'll get them on my way out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not bringing them to my desk. Keep them there. Don't draw any attention.
Why?
Sorry, I have just this second got an email from Target to remind me of something that I ordered for Brandon as a gift that is arriving tomorrow. And I'd like to show it to you because it's very relevant. And I am obviously obeying all these rules about romantic gestures without even knowing it.
Oh my God. I would like you to post that. A mug that says, you're my favourite. Are you joking?
God, perfect. No.
You're actually...
I'm delighted.
Are you?
Oh my God, I'm such a romantic bitch.
It's so ridiculous. You're like laughing away at these rules. But in fact, you're obeying
I'm doing them all. I'm giving
an
head
inch of your
scratches
life.
non-stop.
Oh my God.
grabbing his butt 24/7.
God. I can't. Well, I was trying to think of like some romantic things that happened to me or that I did to people, but I couldn't really think of very much. I was like, what have I ever really done that was very romantic? Like, what surprise things have I ever unveiled on people?
What do you think? Because that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, what is a romantic gesture? Because when we think about it, we often think about like flowers or cliched romantic things. But then in reality...
Rosemary, I watched a lot of Sex and the City, right? And there was a lot of being whisked off to various, other capital cities for stuff. And I was like...
That didn't go well for me that time. I whisked my ex-boyfriend off to Paris and we broke up.
Oh, well, good point. But I whisked Don nowhere. Don whisked himself to Florence one time when I was there on work. When we first, we were only going out
as a surprise?
No. And he whisked himself over. The surprise was, though, that I had almost the flu, basically, when he arrived, and he was having none of it. And he dragged me around Florence for 3 days, and I was going into every farmacia for...
He was having none of it?
Oh, he was having none of it.
I would have thought that he, being
what, Rosemary? Being so prone to illness?
Being rather sickly like the little boy in the secret garden would have sympathy for your being sick.
No, he had no sympathy. And so I remember going on the tour bus of Bologna, actually dying. But
a minute ago you were in Florence.
I actually have pictures of myself. You were Bologna and Florence and Rome. But I actually have pictures of myself with the biggest red nose. I shall happily send them to you. But I think I did actually manage to have a very good time. But it was very fun and it was actually a great trip.
That was before you had the yoke of these 4 kids.
Yeah, honest to God. It was even just going to the dentist this week, I was like, fuck's sakes, got to schedule 4 different appointments for these 4 different kids. And they never, they can't find a single day where they can give any of them an appointment all together on the same day. Yeah, they're like, well, you could come back on December 2nd for Chance, December 9th for Fox, and then you could come 4 times for Bo. And I'm like, really? Really? Okay. Anyway, what am I supposed to do? It's not like I can say, well, I actually don't care about the third child's teeth. So, unfortunately. Anyway, I mean, he didn't whisk him. He didn't, but we had a great time. It wasn't a surprise, like you were saying, but it was just such a great trip and it was so romantic. Maybe it was romantic because he got a passport and did he have a passport? I think he might have had a passport.
I think he had a passport from touring with his band, didn't he?
Did, yeah.
But I think he probably had to renew it. Because I think it had expired.
He had to go out, we had to go out of his American comfort zone to come over and visit me anyway, so it was great.
Brandon got his first passport after we'd been going out for about 6 months because I was basically like, if we're going to do this long distance, between now and when I get my visa, you need to be willing to come visit me.
Well, I mean, weren't you also thinking though that you had a wedding this year? This was pre-COVID.
We did.
So you had a wedding. There was
supposed to be a wedding in May. Yeah.
So you got it for that as well because you were planning to get your visa early anyway, but you got it by the skin of your teeth.
I know, stop. Yeah. What about the most romantic gesture of all? How did Don propose?
Well, Rosemary, I don't know, can't remember.
Where did he get the ring? Did he pick it out himself?
Well, no, he didn't, Rosemary.
That's actually the most romantic gesture anyone's ever done for you. It was me.
Oh, it was you. I thought you were going to say it was him asking you. No, because he asked you what he should do.
Yeah. He asked my advice about proposing. And I think you guys had just had Nash and you just bought your house in Brooklyn. And I knew that you weren't exactly rolling in cash at the time. You know what I mean?
I think we were pregnant actually because we got married in September. We had Nash in March.
I thought you got engaged after. Oh, you were pregnant. Yeah.
No, so it was snowy.
Yeah,
it was snowy,
so you were expecting Nash. Yeah. You just bought this house in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I had any recommendations. And I had got a ring, a sapphire and diamond. What are they called? Oh my God, I worked in a jewellery company and everything.
Ring or something, no?
No, I just can't remember the name of that style. Anyway, literally irrelevant. I had got a ring that was our great-grandmother, so it was our granny's mom's ring. And I told him that he could have it to propose to you with, or to give you, as your engagement ring. And that was the most romantic thing anyone's ever done for you. It was me.
Oh,
I did it.
It was so nice. And so Dan and I went out for dinner one night. It was really snowy and icy in New York and it was winter time and we went to our favourite restaurant, which is in walking distance. It was about 4 blocks and I was very heavily pregnant. So we couldn't go too far. And on the way back, according to Don, I tried to make him snog me on a corner. But apparently there were 2 people fighting on the corner. So he didn't want to get in the middle of the fight. So he kept walking and outside of our house at the bottom of the steps. He got down on one knee. And I remember I had no idea. And I just remember going I was like, what are you doing? I was like, get up. Like, what are you doing on the ground? And he was like, I'm trying to, he's like, just hold on. I'm like, get up. Like, I was like, it's dirty down there. It's all wet. I was like, what's wrong with you? And then he did propose. And I just remember being mortified and shocked and delighted, like all at once. But I was just like, what is, I just never expected this extremely traditional gesture from him. I never expected him to get down on one knee. I never expected, like, that's not who because I mean, I don't think he told Dad as much as like he'd said to Dad, like, you're getting married.
Yeah.
And I was just shocked and I was delighted. But it was weird. But actually, that's funny too, because our mom and dad met when they were like kids, and they made their communion together. They made their confirmation
and he was
together.
really good friends with her older brother.
Yeah, that's how they met. He was best friends with her older brother, who was her older brother, older than he by a year. When Dad decided that when Dad, deigned to propose to our mother, whatever, he went to our grandpa and he said, like, I want to propose to Claire. Can I have her hand in marriage? And Grandpa said, absolutely not. So I feel like that's put any future suitor of you or me in a pretty good position, because he just went ahead and married her
Did
regardless.
it anyway.
Yeah.
What was Grandpa's reasoning? Was it because Dad? Was it like to do? I think it was because he knew Dad for so long and knew Dad was a bit of a messer. And Dad kept buying expensive vintage cars and keeping them in Granddad's garage.
Dad was unreliable. Like, Dad was unpredictable more than anything else. Like, so I mean, I think the idea was you go to school, you get your degree, you get a job, you're very, you're reliable. Whereas Dad was like, I'm going to get a car and I'm going to spend my money on this. And he was fixing up some car in Grandpa's shed, and he was a
Jaguar that he got for £100 or something.
And he had disappeared off when he was supposed to be doing his
final exams, and he called his mom and said, I didn't do my exams and I'm in Germany.
Yes.
Isn't that it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And there were a couple of other things like that where he was supposed to be here, but he was actually there, and he was supposed to be here, but he was actually there. But like, I mean, by my metrics, by my evaluation, like, extremely tame. Like, if that's the worst my child does, I'm going to be like, star child.
Didn't his friend Alan O'Mahony sneak in his window with a bottle of whiskey one time?
Yeah, apparently he went up on the roof with a bottle of whiskey. And like, Mom has some letters from when her time, she went to France as an au pair, and Dad like sent her one letter apparently in the 9 months that she was there, whatever, and she was like delighted by it. And I'm going, is that not grounds to break up? But no, Mother, it's not. And in this letter, apparently he rails against his parents, like, they stole his vodka and they don't understand him and they're keeping him at home, etc.
I think he also said he was in his room waiting for dinner, waiting for Mommy to finish dinner.
That was it. At the end of it was like, and now I have to leave because Mom's finishing dinner and I'm in my room and I need
starving.
Yes. Brilliant. But anyway, what's the most romantic thing you yourself have ever done? Just like a spur of the moment thing. Anything?
I honestly don't know. Like, I think I historically have always liked, it's probably more about me, like, my love language is gifts. So like, I'll often like buying people little things, or like, I remember when my ex-boyfriend finished his exams, I bought him a bunch of, because I was kind of thinking, I was like, men never get flowers and flowers are lovely and it'll be something that he can like, that he'll look at and remember. And I bought him a bunch of cabbage roses because I was like, they're not like super, they're not normal roses. They're not horrified. I wouldn't even touch them. Wouldn't take them from me. Was literally like, what are they for? Are they for me? Like, I don't want them. Why'd you get them from me? I was like, this is really
that was
nice.
Probably a step too far. He probably would have enjoyed just regular roses.
Oh no, I don't. No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it would like that.
Well,
either.
Rosemary, in case, because you obviously haven't asked.
Oh, sorry.
I've prompted you twice, and you haven't asked me. But
Rosemary, sorry. Tell me.
In my teenage years, I don't know. I think I was about 13, right? And Diet Coke was doing this. Diet Coke was obviously trying to become very prevalent in Ireland. They were doing something where it was like, if you collected X number of wrappers, they would send a rose to the Valentine of your choice, your face.
Oh my God. I would be getting roses out the Uxter with the amount of Diet Coke I'm drinking.
Well, no, you wouldn't. It was like 400 bottles of Diet Coke. So I remember literally I would like say to Mom, stop the car, I see a Diet Coke wrapper in the ditch. I was picking Diet Coke wrappers out of everywhere. I mean, and I was very infatuated at the time with a friend of our cousins. God love him.
God.
I mean, and actually, I mean, it doesn't need to be a secret because I actually, so part of the story. So anyway, I went ahead and I submitted my wrappers and sent it. Actually, now I'm thinking to myself, I have no actual proof that this rose ever got delivered. But anyway, so I sent, and it said, we're going to send a rose, and here's your message. And I can't even. I'm making this up 100%. I have no idea what the message was. Like, guess who?
Oh my God, it probably rhymed.
Guess who?
Roses
I
are
love
red,
you.
violets are blue.
Anyway,
I've got a crush and it's on
later,
you.
Oh yeah, years later, I met this guy at a party, right? I mean, I met him regularly, but like not he didn't go to school with me. He went to school with my cousin.
Right.
And years later, I met him at a party, and I was like, oh, we were chatting about like Valentine's and romance and whatever. And I said, oh my God, I said, I wonder if you ever wondered who gave you that rose, years ago. I said, well, it was me, and I was expecting him to be like, oh, was it? And he just looked shocked, right? And he was like, oh. And then he like made excuses and left. And now I'm thinking to myself, like afterwards I was like, oh my God, why did he act so weird? Because I actually thought, though, it took me about a couple of years to realize that like maybe he had in his head a whole other reason about that rose. Do you know what I mean? That rose for him had signified like it was this person and it was this, and so it wasn't so much that it was shocking that it came from me, but it was more shocking that it didn't come from the person he thought it came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, unbelievably mortifying. He slunk off and I'm telling you, we were in our like mid-20s at this point, and I was like, oh, we'd been having a really good chat at this party, and then like he just stood up and he like excused himself and left.
And did you ever ask him about it afterwards?
No, I don't.
That's the kind of thing that I would never be able to drop. I'd be like, no, come back.
No, that was probably the last time I saw him, because then I moved abroad, like for real.
then I was out of embarrassment. I left the country immediately.
I was like, I can't be here anymore. Yeah. But it was really, really ridiculous. But actually, that makes me think now, what about Valentine's Day? Because I'd like to tell you, like in America and probably in Ireland now at this point, like if you give a Valentine's card as a kid, right, it's like every Valentine's Day they send around, please do 24 cards and send them in from your child, right? And you can't just send, there is no like, when I was growing up, and I'm sure when you were growing up, it was like, if you wanted to give a Valentine's card to somebody, you did, and if you didn't, you didn't. But now it's like everybody gives 24 cards, so everybody receives 24 cards, right? Jesus. Everybody's a winner, Rosemary.
No wonder Americans are so full of themselves.
No, and it's the same in Ireland. Mother has assured me.
I
don't know what she know. I'm like, I'm not Norman Bates. Mom has assured me, right?
Mother has assured me.
Mother has assured me everybody receives a Valentine's in the shower. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, she sent me a Valentine's card every year for approximately...
What?
Oh yeah, and denied it was her.
Excuse
and it was
me.
also...
What?
Yeah, Mom sent me a
Valentine's...
Valentine's...
No, I'm sorry. From when to when?
From about 12 to about 25.
Excuse me, I have never received a card from Mother.
Favourite.
Is this a joke?
What is the favourite? I don't know when she started it or why, but basically she would
just
deny...
gave in. She was like, I actually do love you the most, dear Rosemary.
No,
you are phenomenal.
She always put.
Sorry. What are the hallmarks? You are amazing. Your shoulders are extremely large, and here's a cookie.
Pipe down for a second. She would send. Well, she was always baking. She would send me
to my detriment. I know.
She would send me a card every single year, and every single year she would deny it was from her, despite the fact that it was in her handwriting, that it featured a very puerile rhyme. That
you're going to say pubic. So
no,
I'm really
a very
right now.
ridiculous simpleton rhyme, and also.
That's
very frequently.
Are you calling our mother a simpleton?
No, I'm saying that the rhymes that she chooses to write on the Valentine's cards to her daughter that she's pretending are from someone else were simpleton rhymes. And then lastly, at least half of these cards did not have a stamp.
Well, Rosemary,
so I knew they were from her.
I'm literally like, on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis, I say to myself,
why am I not the favourite?
No, I say to myself, Beatrice, you're ridiculous. There is no favouritism, Shay Clan McCabe. You just think there is, and you've talked yourself into it. These kind of stories would convince me otherwise. And when you say this, I also remember that at one point Mother bought you an a la carte kitchen and then proceeded to bake you magic fairy cupcakes. And I'm like, none of this stuff ever happened for me.
Ireland in the 90s, they were buns.
Okay,
cupcakes.
buns. Oh, buns, 100% buns. And I would love to tell you how much people in my office enjoy when I say, would you like a bun? Not as much as they enjoy when I say, pass me the rubber.
Not as much as I enjoy when they say fanny. A fanny pack.
Oh, a fanny pack. A fanny pack. Can't even. No, I like to say, give me that rubber there. They love it. I mean, they hate it, but I love it.
Rubber means condom in America. Beatrice should be fired by
They
now.
know
basically.
that, Rosemary. People have
case
American
they don't,
television
Beatrice.
now. People have American television.
Nobody calls them rubbers anymore, Beatrice. American TV. When was the last time you heard anyone on American TV going, hand me a rubber? Have you got
in
a rubber?
America, nobody. What?
You said they have American TV, but I'm
Rosemary,
saying nobody will have seen anybody
Rosemary,
referring to a condom
you're
as a rubber.
so argumentative for no reason. You're letting yourself down. So moving on. Moving on, Rosemary.
My teeth are chattering with rage.
They're not even remotely. So for Valentine's Day, Mother sent you lots of cards.
Mother sent me lots of
Did you
cards.
ever write a Valentine's card to anybody else? Or
Oh
did
my
you
God,
ever...
I'm sure I wrote Valentine's cards.
I'm pretty sure, Rosemary, you got a lot of Valentine's cards. You had a lot of boyfriends.
From Mum.
No, you had a lot of boyfriends.
I did have a lot of boyfriends growing up.
Did you once get a
Beatrice.
Valentine's teddy, Rosemary? Not a teddy negligee, but a teddy.
There was one year I was dating a guy who was mad about me, as Mum would say. He was mad
And you
about
were mad about him, in fairness.
Yeah, I was.
Absolute obsession, I would say. And he was extreme. Actually, don't you have a great picture of the two?
Oh my God, I have a great picture of the two of us.
Yes.
Where I think we look like extras from a Duran Duran video. You don't.
But he was extremely handsome. He was... Rosemary, yes. He was extreme. Yes.
I mean, I thought he was extremely handsome at the time. Looking back now, I just feel like everyone looked like grand.
No. He was extremely handsome. He was like the pick of the bunch, as they say.
Jesus Christ, he was not the pick of the bunch.
He was,
anyway,
wasn't
this year for Valentine's Day, he got me a teddy, and this was no ordinary teddy.
Teddy bear.
A teddy bear.
Not a teddy negligee.
Oh, please. I was like 16. It was just like a teddy bear. Nobody thought I meant teddy negligee.
Just saying.
Claire McCabe. A
Just
teddy.
saying.
He got me a teddy bear from the Teddy Bear Factory that had recently opened up in Jervis Street.
What a dote.
I actually think I got one of those teddies for one of your kids. And so when you went into the Teddy Bear Factory, you picked out the type of teddy you wanted and like how, if you wanted it firm or you wanted it really soft, and you also picked out this little felt heart to put in the teddy bear, and you were given the heart and you were told to make a wish for the heart.
Oh, is
And
it
to
true?
put the heart in the teddy bear. And then also you could get a voice box. So you could either get the teddy bear to make a sound when you pushed its belly, so it could laugh, or I had a cat one at one point that purred, or you could get a lion that roared, or you could record a message that when you pressed on the teddy bear,
So cute.
it had a message. And he got me this teddy bear that he had, and I remember thinking afterwards, I just couldn't imagine him going into the little booth with the assistant to the Teddy Bear Factory and recording this message.
So nice.
It was so nice, Beatrice, but it was also weird because the teddy bear said, I love you so much, I will never ever leave you. Anyway, the teddy bear...
so nice of him, genuinely. And you know what? It speaks to his massive capacity for love.
It was
I'm
so
serious.
nice. Yes, I know you're serious. That's why I'm rolling my eyes. It was so nice of him. But then a couple of months later, I was staying in our cousin's, doing my work experience in transition year. Oh yeah, so I must have been like 15.
Yeah.
Doing my work experience in transition year, and I remember it was Grattan. It was just the worst cousin and everything. I was out, and Mom had come to pick me up. I think it was like the last day of my work experience. Mom had come to pick me up, and I arrived back in Smith's, opened the front door, and there was this like raucous laughter, like peals of laughter coming from the sitting room. And I remember walking in and being like, what's everyone laughing at? And basically, I think one of Roseanne's kids was there and had found the teddy in my room and brought it downstairs.
That's mean.
And then somebody, no, like just
but
to
I mean,
play with.
You know what? It's mean that all the adults didn't put that teddy back.
Good point, Beatrice.
Yes, Rosemary.
And then somebody had accidentally sat on the teddy and I think nearly died of fright when this voice came out of it. saying, I love you so much.
You know, they should have immediately put that private teddy back in your
should
bedroom.
have.
Yes, they should have, Rosemary, and I'm actually appalled
It's
of them
never
now.
occurred to me until
But
now.
again, I'm not even surprised. Our family is not a good family for secrets.
For boundaries.
No.
And I was so embarrassed. And I remember Mom, I was so embarrassed, right? I could barely speak to anyone. I was like, Mom, we have to leave. And Mom was really annoyed with me. I was like, stop being rude.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Our mother who gets embarrassed if you ask her to stand up in public.
The same mother who like cried at her sister's wedding as a bridesmaid.
When someone said, don't the bridesmaids look beautiful?
Yes, don't the bridesmaids look beautiful? And she cried. And yet, Rosemary, she has no empathy for you and your shame.
She did not, Beatrice, even though I'm the
I'm
favourite.
appalled.
How
Well,
would she have treated you?
I mean, I literally would have gotten a kick in the head and been buried in the back garden, but that's fine.
Bury me and cover me in Diet Coke labels. Sprinkled over me like confetti. So obviously we've never experienced a true romantic gesture. We've never done one unto anyone else or had one done unto us, except for when you got proposed to on the street. That was nice.
I was about to say, I don't know. I feel like we covered a couple of romantic gestures there, did we not? I mean, what is a romantic gesture?
Well, that's what I was kind of trying to get at. That I'm like, I feel like true romance is like basically just enduring someone.
Oh, that's, I mean, I was about to say, like, on occasion, I like anticipate that Don would like a coffee. That's a romantic gesture.
Exactly. It is like the small
I
things.
say on occasion. On occasion. Here's the actual romance of my life. On occasion, when the baby does an actual poop in his nappy, instead of pretending I don't smell it and sending him off Don's direction, I actually change his nappy. Whereas today I was like, come on over here, I'll change that. And then when he did it again, I was like, go over to your dad, give your dad a kiss. But that's still romance because I want him to feel the love of his children.
And that is the only way to experience that. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Not Without My Sister. We would love to hear true tales of romance from people who truly experienced them.
Yeah, actual romance from people.
Yes. Did you get whisked somewhere?
Like an egg. Or did you whisk someone somewhere? Or do something else extremely romantic that we, like, with our, limited experience of romance, it would seem, as of today's episode, can't even imagine.
I genuinely can't imagine what would be like a super romantic gesture.
I'm actually having an actual mental blank right now when I'm like, what is romantic?
What is romance? Who are we? What is love? What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Oh no. That's not suitable in a post-Me Too era.
Oh God.
Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on Instagram at Not Without My Sister, isn't it? You can find us on Instagram at Not Without My Sister. You can email us, notwithoutmysister@gmail.com. Check out our website, notwithoutmysis.com. And we're both on Instagram, Rosemary McCabe, Beatrice McCabe. A's in our max. You'll find us.
And if you did not hate this episode and other episodes, please recommend us to friends, family, colleagues, anybody who will listen, has time to listen to a podcast.
Oh, and go on to iTunes there and give us a review. 5 stars, please.
I would like a review, anything except the recent review that said, I love Rosemary.
I love listening to Rosemary.
I love listening to Rosemary. 5 stars. I mean, I also relatively enjoy listening to Rosemary, but what about me?
Maybe we should set up like a subscribers only special where you can just get one side of the podcast. Just get one of us.
The bell would be tingling right now because I was rolling my eyes so hard.
Tingling or tinkling?
Thank you.
Bye. Not Without My Sister is produced by Liam Garrity. Sound and original music by Don Kirkland. And our original illustration is by Lindsay Nielsen.
Not Without My Sister is a member of The Warren, the home of great Irish podcasts. You'll find more great shows at thewarren.ie.